Welcome to Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever wondered why some people can effortlessly connect with others, while others struggle to express their ideas clearly? Think about it. Communication is the bridge that connects us to the world. It's not just about words, it's about creating meaningful connections that inspire, persuade, and build trust. This audiobook explains practical strategies that will empower you to communicate with confidence, clarity, and impact. Introduction. The audiobook Give Me Few Minutes, and I'll Improve Your Communication Skills is written and published by Wisdom Audiobooks. In today's fast-paced world, many of us face challenges in expressing ourselves confidently, building strong relationships, or making a lasting impression. Imagine being in a job interview and freezing up when asked to talk about yourself. Or picture yourself in a meeting, struggling to articulate your ideas while others dominate the conversation. These moments can be frustrating, even demoralizing. But here's the truth, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world share these struggles. Whether you're a professional striving for career growth, a student preparing for interviews, or someone seeking personal development, communication skills are the key to unlocking your potential. I understand how overwhelming it can feel to be misunderstood or to miss opportunities because of poor communication. I've been there too. There were times when I doubted my ability to speak up, fearing judgment or rejection. But over time, I discovered that communication is not an innate talent, it's a skill that anyone can learn and master with the right guidance. That's why I created this audiobook. It's designed to help you overcome these barriers step by step. You'll find actionable insights, proven techniques, and inspiring stories to guide you on this journey. Through this audiobook, you'll discover how to build unshakable confidence in any conversation. Master the art of nonverbal communication. Adapt your style to different contexts, from professional settings to personal relationships. Continuously improve and refine your skills over time. By listening attentively, you'll gain tools that can be applied immediately to solve your problems and achieve your goals. As the great communicator Dale Carnegie once said, "Talk to someone about themselves, and they'll listen for hours." This audiobook is your chance to become that person, someone who connects deeply, inspires others, and leaves a lasting impact. So stay with me. Let's embark on this transformative journey together. Your wisdom journey starts here. Chapter 1: The Foundations of Effective Communication. Before we dive into the intricacies of mastering communication, let's lay a strong foundation. Imagine building a house. Without a solid base, even the most beautiful structure will eventually crumble. Similarly, effective communication begins with understanding its core principles. In this chapter, we'll explore what makes communication truly impactful and how you can start applying these fundamentals right away. As George Bernard Shaw once said, "The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place." Too often, we assume that simply speaking or writing is enough. But true communication goes beyond words. It's about creating clarity, fostering connection, and ensuring your message is received as intended. Let's break this down step by step. 1. Understanding communication basics. Communication is more than just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotions and intentions behind the information. To communicate effectively, you need to consider both what you say and how you say it. Here are the foundational elements you must master. 1.1 What is communication? Definition and importance. At its core, communication is the process of transmitting information from one person to another. It involves a sender, a receiver, and a message. However, effective communication doesn't stop there. It also requires feedback, context, and mutual understanding. Why is communication so important? Think about this. Every relationship, every career advancement, and every meaningful interaction depends on how well you can express yourself and understand others. Poor communication leads to misunderstandings, conflicts, and missed opportunities. On the other hand, clear and empathetic communication builds trust, strengthens bonds, and opens doors to success. For instance, consider the story of Malala Yousafzai. Her ability to communicate her vision for girls' education has inspired millions worldwide. She didn't just speak, she connected deeply with her audience through authenticity and passion. That's the power of effective communication. 1.2 The 7 Cs of effective communication. To ensure your communication is clear and impactful, follow the 7 Cs framework. 1. Clear. Your message should be easy to understand. Avoid jargon or overly complex language. 2. Concise. Be brief and to the point. Don't overwhelm your audience with unnecessary details. 3. Concrete. Use specific examples or evidence to support your points. 4. Correct. Ensure your facts, grammar, and tone are accurate and appropriate. 5. Coherent. Organize your thoughts logically so they flow smoothly. 6. Complete. Provide all necessary information to avoid confusion. 7. Courteous. Show respect and empathy toward your audience. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're writing an email to your boss requesting a day off. A poorly written email might say, "Hey, I need a day off next week." While this gets the point across, it lacks clarity, courtesy, and completeness. A better version would be, "Dear boss's name, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to request a day off on Thursday next week due to a personal commitment. I've ensured that all my tasks will be completed beforehand, and I'm happy to assist in any way to ensure a smooth workflow during my absence. Thank you for considering my request." Which version do you think will leave a better impression? Exactly, the second one. By following the 7 Cs, you can transform your communication from mediocre to exceptional. 2. Barriers to effective communication. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about the obstacles that often stand in our way. Even if you know the theory, real-life challenges can make communication difficult. Here are some common barriers and how to overcome them. 2.1 Fear and anxiety. One of the biggest hurdles to effective communication is fear. Many people feel anxious about public speaking, sharing their opinions, or even starting a simple conversation. This fear stems from the worry of being judged or making mistakes. But here's the truth: perfection is not the goal. As author Brené Brown wisely said, "Vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome." Instead of aiming for flawless communication, focus on being authentic and genuine. To overcome fear, try these techniques. Practice deep breathing exercises before speaking. Visualize a positive outcome instead of worrying about failure. Start small by engaging in low-stakes conversations, like chatting with a cashier or colleague. 2.2 Misinterpretation. Another common barrier is misinterpretation. Words can mean different things to different people, especially in multicultural settings. For example, the word flexible might imply adaptability to one person but lack of structure to another. To minimize misinterpretation, use simple, precise language. Ask clarifying questions to ensure understanding. Paraphrase what the other person says to confirm you've understood correctly. 2.3 Cultural differences. In today's globalized world, cultural differences play a significant role in communication. Gestures, tones, and even humor can vary widely across cultures. For instance, maintaining eye contact is seen as respectful in Western cultures but may be considered rude in some Asian countries. To navigate cultural differences, educate yourself about the customs and norms of the culture you're interacting with. Be observant and adaptable. Pay attention to nonverbal cues and adjust accordingly. 3. The power of active listening. Effective communication isn't just about speaking, it's equally about listening. In fact, studies show that we spend about 45% of our time listening, yet most of us are poor listeners. Why? Because we're often distracted, thinking about what to say next, or simply zoning out. Active listening changes the game. It means fully concentrating on what the other person is saying without interrupting or planning your response. Here's why it matters. It shows respect and builds rapport. It helps you understand the speaker's perspective more deeply. It reduces misunderstandings and fosters collaboration. 3.1 Why listening is as important as speaking. Think about a time when someone truly listened to you. How did it make you feel? Valued, respected, and understood, right? That's the power of active listening. As Stephen R. Covey famously said, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. By shifting your focus from replying to understanding, you can transform your conversations. 3.2 Techniques to become a better listener. Here are some practical tips to enhance your listening skills. Maintain eye contact. This signals attentiveness and engagement. Nod and smile. Nonverbal cues like nodding encourage the speaker to continue. Paraphrase. Repeat back what you've heard in your own words, e.g. So what you're saying is. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage the speaker to elaborate, e.g. Can you tell me more about that? Let me share a quick story to illustrate this. A friend of mine, Sarah, was struggling at work because her team wasn't meeting deadlines. Frustrated, she called a meeting to address the issue. Instead of lecturing everyone, she decided to listen actively. She asked open-ended questions like, "What challenges are you facing?" and "How can I support you better?" The result? Her team opened up, shared valuable insights, and together they devised solutions that improved productivity. All because she chose to listen instead of dictate. 4. Applying the foundations in real-life scenarios. Now that we've explored the core principles of effective communication, let's discuss how you can apply them in everyday situations. Whether you're at work, home, or social settings, these strategies will help you communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. 4.1 Communicating clearly in professional settings. In the workplace, clear communication is essential for productivity and collaboration. Here are some tips tailored to professional environments. Email etiquette. Keep your emails concise, polite, and action-oriented. Use bullet points for clarity and always proofread before hitting send. Meetings. Prepare an agenda beforehand and stick to it. Encourage participation by asking open-ended questions like, "What are your thoughts on this approach?" Feedback. When giving feedback, focus on the behavior, not the person. For example, instead of saying, "You're disorganized," say, "I noticed the report was missing a few key sections. How can we improve next time?" A great example of professional communication comes from Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Known for his empathetic leadership style, Nadella emphasizes the importance of listening and understanding others' perspectives. He once said, "Empathy makes you a better innovator." By fostering a culture of open dialogue and mutual respect, he transformed Microsoft into one of the most innovative companies in the world. 4.2 Strengthening personal relationships through communication. Effective communication isn't limited to professional settings. It's equally vital in personal relationships. Misunderstandings with loved ones often arise because we assume they know what we're thinking or feeling. But assumptions lead to frustration and distance. Here's how to communicate better in personal relationships. Express appreciation. Regularly acknowledge the efforts of those around you. A simple, "Thank you for supporting me," can go a long way. Be honest but kind. If something bothers you, address it calmly without blaming. Use I statements instead of you statements. For example, "I feel overwhelmed when the house is messy," is less confrontational than, "You never clean up." Home is where life feels most real, and effective communication ensures that warmth and understanding thrive there. 4.3 Navigating difficult conversations. Let's face it, difficult conversations are inevitable. Whether it's addressing a conflict at work or discussing sensitive topics with a friend, these moments can be uncomfortable. However, avoiding them only prolongs the problem. To navigate difficult conversations successfully, stay calm, take a deep breath and remind yourself of the goal: to resolve the issue, not win an argument. Listen actively, give the other person space to express their feelings without interrupting. Find common ground. Focus on shared goals rather than differences. For example, "We both want this project to succeed. How can we work together to make it happen?" A powerful quote by Margaret Wheatley encapsulates this idea perfectly. Conflict is an opportunity to learn, not a signal to fight. Embrace challenges as chances to grow and strengthen your relationships. 5. Building confidence through practice. Understanding the foundations of communication is just the beginning. To truly excel, you need consistent practice. Think of it like learning a musical instrument. The more you play, the better you become. Here are some actionable steps to practice daily. Start small. Engage in low-pressure conversations, such as ordering coffee or chatting with a neighbor. Record yourself. Record a short video or audio clip of yourself speaking. Listen back to identify areas for improvement, such as pacing or tone. Join groups. Consider joining clubs like Toastmasters, where you can practice public speaking in a supportive environment. Remember, progress takes time. As Tony Robbins once said, "It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently." Commit to improving your communication skills every day, no matter how small the effort may seem. 6. Reflecting on your growth. Before we wrap up this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned so far. Ask yourself, what aspect of communication resonates with me the most? Which barrier do I struggle with the most, and how can I overcome it? How will mastering these fundamentals benefit my personal and professional life? Reflection is a powerful tool for growth. By regularly assessing your progress, you'll stay motivated and focused on your goals. Conclusion of Chapter 1. Congratulations, you've laid a strong foundation for mastering communication. You now understand the basics, recognize common barriers, and know the importance of active listening. These principles will serve as the bedrock for everything we'll explore in the coming chapters. As we move forward, keep this thought in mind. Communication works for those who work at it, said John Powell. Stay committed, stay curious, and watch how your newfound skills transform your interactions and relationships. Are you ready to dive deeper? In the next chapter, we'll focus on building confidence, a critical step toward becoming a fearless communicator. Let's continue this journey together. Chapter 2. Building confidence in communication. Confidence is the cornerstone of great communication. Without it, even the most well-crafted message can fall flat. Think about the last time you hesitated to speak up in a meeting or felt your voice tremble during a presentation. Those moments of doubt don't just affect your performance. They also impact how others perceive you. But here's the good news. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you can develop. In this chapter, we'll explore practical strategies to help you overcome fear, cultivate a positive mindset, and become a confident communicator. As Maya Angelou once said, "Courage is the most important of all virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently." Let's begin building that courage together. 1. Overcoming fear and anxiety. Fear of public speaking or social interaction is one of the most common barriers to effective communication. Known as glossophobia, this fear affects nearly 75% of people worldwide. But why does it happen, and how can we conquer it? 1.1 Understanding the root causes of communication anxiety. At its core, communication anxiety stems from two main fears. Fear of judgment, worrying that others will criticize or reject us. Fear of failure, believing that making a mistake reflects poorly on our abilities. These fears are natural, but they don't have to control us. The key is to reframe how we view these situations. Instead of seeing them as tests of worth, think of them as opportunities to grow and connect. 1.2 Practical exercises to calm nerves. Here are some proven techniques to help you manage anxiety. Deep breathing. Before speaking, take slow, deep breaths to calm your nervous system. Try inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and exhaling for 6 counts. This technique lowers stress hormones and promotes relaxation. Visualization. Picture yourself succeeding. Imagine walking into the room confidently, speaking clearly, and receiving positive feedback. Visualization primes your brain for success. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tense and then release each muscle group in your body, starting from your toes and working upward. This reduces physical tension and helps you feel grounded. Let me share a personal story. Early in my career, I was terrified of public speaking. My first major presentation left me so anxious that I forgot half of what I planned to say. Afterward, I realized I needed a strategy. I started practicing in front of a mirror, recording myself, and gradually speaking in front of small groups. Over time, my confidence grew, and today, I love sharing ideas with audiences. If I can do it, so can you. 2. Developing a positive mindset. Confidence begins in the mind. If you believe you're capable, you'll act accordingly. On the flip side, self-doubt sabotages your efforts before you even start. Here's how to shift your mindset from negative to empowering. 2.1 Shifting from self-doubt to self-belief. Negative self-talk is a major confidence killer. Phrases like, "I'm not good enough," or "they'll think I'm stupid," create mental roadblocks. To overcome this, challenge those thoughts with evidence-based affirmations. For example, replace "I always mess up" with "I learn from every experience." Replace "No one cares what I have to say" with "My perspective matters." Remember the words of Norman Vincent Peale. Change your thoughts, and you change your world. When you train your mind to focus on possibilities rather than limitations, your confidence naturally grows. 2.2 Using affirmations and positive self-talk. Affirmations are powerful tools for rewiring your subconscious mind. Start each day by repeating statements like, "I communicate with clarity and confidence." "I am valued for my unique insights." Every conversation is an opportunity to grow. To make affirmations more effective, pair them with visualization. For instance, while saying, "I am a confident speaker," imagine yourself standing tall, speaking fluently, and receiving applause. Over time, these practices will reshape your belief system. 3. Practicing public speaking. Public speaking is often cited as one of the greatest fears, but mastering it can skyrocket your confidence. Here's how to prepare and deliver impactful speeches or presentations. 3.1 Tips for delivering speeches or presentations confidently. Know your audience. Tailor your content to their interests and needs. What do they care about? How can you add value? Chairman's work establishes rapport. Begin with a relatable story, statistic, or question to grab attention. For example, how many of you have ever felt overwhelmed trying to explain a complex idea? Instantly engages listeners. Structure your content. Use a clear framework, introduction, body, conclusion, to keep your message organized. Include transitions between points to maintain flow. Use visual aids wisely. Slides or props should enhance, not distract. Keep text minimal and visuals impactful. A great example comes from Steve Jobs, whose product launches were legendary for their simplicity and storytelling. He once said, "The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller." By weaving narratives into his presentations, he made technical information accessible and memorable. 3.2 How to handle Q&A sessions effectively. Q&A sessions can be intimidating, especially if you're asked a tough question. Here's how to stay composed. Listen carefully, don't rush to respond. Take a moment to process the question fully. Acknowledge the questioner, show appreciation by saying, "That's a great question," or "Thank you for bringing that up." Be honest if you don't know, it's okay to admit uncertainty. Say, "I don't have that information right now, but I'll follow up with you later." Practice answering potential questions beforehand to boost your readiness. 4. Building confidence through small wins. Confidence grows incrementally. Each small victory reinforces your belief in your abilities. Here's how to build momentum. 4.1 Celebrate progress, not perfection. Instead of waiting for flawless execution, celebrate every step forward. Did you speak up in a meeting? Congratulate yourself. Did you give a short presentation without freezing? That's progress. 4.2 Seek feedback constructively. Feedback is a gift, not a critique. Ask trusted colleagues or friends for input on your communication style. Focus on actionable suggestions rather than dwelling on negatives. For example, after a team presentation, you might ask, "What did I do well, and how can I improve next time?" This approach fosters growth without damaging your confidence. 5. Overcoming self-limiting beliefs. One of the biggest obstacles to confidence is self-limiting beliefs, Those nagging thoughts that tell us we're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal expectations, or even well-meaning but misguided advice from others. Let's address how you can identify and dismantle these barriers. 5.1 Identifying your limiting beliefs. Start by reflecting on your inner dialogue. What negative thoughts arise when you think about speaking up or communicating with others? Common examples include: I'll embarrass myself if I make a mistake. People won't take me seriously. I'm just not a natural communicator. These thoughts may feel true, but they're not facts, they're assumptions. The first step to overcoming them is recognizing their presence. 5.2 Reframing limiting beliefs into empowering ones. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, challenge them with evidence and logic. For example, replace "I'll embarrass myself" with "Mistakes are part of learning, and people appreciate authenticity." Replace "People won't take me seriously" with "My ideas are valuable, and I deserve to be heard." A powerful lesson comes from Carol S. Dweck, author of Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. She emphasizes the importance of adopting a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through effort and perseverance. As she puts it, becoming is better than being. When you embrace this philosophy, you stop seeing yourself as fixed and start viewing challenges as opportunities for growth. 6. Embracing vulnerability as strength. Many people avoid vulnerability because they fear rejection or judgment. But vulnerability is actually a source of strength in communication. It allows you to connect deeply with others, build trust, and inspire action. 6.1 Why vulnerability builds confidence. When you share your authentic self, your fears, struggles, and aspirations, you create a bridge of understanding with your audience. People relate to honesty more than perfection. As Brené Brown, a renowned researcher on vulnerability, says, "Vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change." For instance, consider a leader who admits they don't have all the answers but invites their team to collaborate on finding solutions. This openness fosters a culture of trust and shared responsibility. 6.2 Practicing vulnerability in everyday conversations. Start small by sharing something personal during casual conversations. For example, instead of saying, "I'm fine," when asked how you're doing, try, "Actually, I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed lately, but I'm working through it." This level of transparency invites deeper connections. 7. Building confidence through consistent action. Confidence isn't built overnight, it's cultivated through consistent effort. Here are some actionable steps to integrate into your daily routine. 7.1 Engage in daily communication challenges. Push yourself out of your comfort zone regularly. For example, strike up a conversation with someone new each day. Volunteer to lead a meeting or present an idea at work. Record yourself speaking on a topic and analyze areas for improvement. 7.2 Surround yourself with supportive people. The company you keep influences your confidence. Spend time with individuals who uplift and encourage you. Avoid toxic environments where negativity thrives. 7.3 Reflect on your progress weekly. Set aside time each week to review your achievements and setbacks. Ask yourself, what went well? What could I improve? How did my confidence grow this week? This habit keeps you accountable and motivated. 8. A story of transformation, from fearful to fearless. Let me leave you with an inspiring story about Sarah, a young professional who transformed her communication skills. When Sarah started her career, she dreaded speaking in meetings. Her fear of judgment paralyzed her, leaving her silent even when she had valuable insights to share. Determined to change, Sarah began practicing small talk with colleagues during lunch breaks. She joined a local Toastmasters club and gradually gained confidence by delivering short speeches. One day, she volunteered to present a project update to her team. Though nervous, she prepared thoroughly and focused on connecting with her audience. To her surprise, the presentation was a hit, and her manager praised her clarity and poise. Sarah's journey reminds us that confidence grows one step at a time. With persistence and practice, anyone can overcome their fears and become a fearless communicator. Conclusion of Chapter 2. Congratulations, you've taken significant strides toward building unshakable confidence in your communication. By addressing fear, reframing limiting beliefs, and embracing vulnerability, you've laid the groundwork for fearless expression. Remember, confidence isn't about never feeling nervous, it's about moving forward despite those feelings. As Eleanor Roosevelt wisely said, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face." Keep challenging yourself, stay committed to growth, and watch your confidence soar. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the fascinating world of nonverbal communication. You'll discover how body language, tone, and gestures can amplify your message and deepen your connections. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of nonverbal mastery? Let's continue this journey together. Chapter 3: Mastering Nonverbal Communication. Did you know that over 50% of communication is nonverbal? Words are just one piece of the puzzle. Your body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions often speak louder than anything you say. Nonverbal cues shape how others perceive you and influence whether your message lands effectively. In this chapter, we'll uncover the secrets of mastering nonverbal communication. You'll learn how to use gestures, posture, eye contact, and tone to enhance your interactions. As Peter F. Drucker famously said, "The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said." Let's dive into the unspoken language of connection. 1. The role of body language. Body language is a powerful tool for conveying confidence, sincerity, and empathy. It includes everything from your posture to your hand movements. When used intentionally, it can amplify your message and build trust. 1.1 Importance of posture. Your posture sends a clear signal about your confidence level. Slouching or crossing your arms can make you appear closed off or disinterested, while standing tall with an open stance exudes confidence and approachability. Here's how to improve your posture. Stand or sit up straight. Keep your shoulders back and your head aligned with your spine. This not only looks confident but also improves your breathing and energy levels. Avoid crossing arms. This gesture creates a physical barrier and signals defensiveness. Instead, keep your hands relaxed at your sides or use them to emphasize points. A great example comes from Barack Obama, whose commanding yet approachable posture made him a master of nonverbal communication. Whether addressing world leaders or speaking to everyday citizens, his upright stance and calm demeanor conveyed authority and warmth. 1.2 Eye contact, the window to connection. Eye contact is one of the most critical aspects of nonverbal communication. It builds rapport, shows attentiveness, and signals honesty. However, too much eye contact can feel intimidating, while too little may seem evasive. Here's how to strike the right balance. Maintain steady eye contact for 60 to 70% of the conversation. Look away occasionally to avoid staring, but return your gaze naturally. If you're speaking to multiple people, distribute your eye contact evenly to include everyone. For instance, imagine delivering a presentation. By making deliberate eye contact with different audience members, you create a sense of inclusion and engagement. 1.3 Facial expressions, mirroring emotions. Your face is a canvas that reflects your emotions. Smiling, raising eyebrows, or nodding subtly can reinforce your verbal message and show empathy. Conversely, mismatched expressions, e.g., saying, "I'm excited," with a frown, confuse your audience. To enhance your facial expressions, practice smiling genuinely. It activates the muscles around your eyes, creating a warm, authentic look. Match your expression to the tone of your words. For example, furrowed brows suit serious topics, while relaxed features work for casual conversations. As Dale Carnegie once noted, "A person's smile is their signature of warmth." A simple smile can break barriers and foster goodwill instantly. 2. Using tone and voice modulation. While body language sets the stage, your tone of voice delivers the performance. How you say something often matters more than what you say. 2.1 How tone affects perception. Tone conveys emotion and intent. A monotone delivery can bore your audience, while an overly aggressive tone may alienate them. On the other hand, a warm, enthusiastic tone captivates attention and builds rapport. Consider the difference between these two statements. Said flatly, "We need to meet the deadline." Said enthusiastically, "Let's rally together to hit this deadline, it's within our reach." Which version motivates you more? Exactly, the second one. Your tone transforms the meaning of your words. 2.2 Techniques to modulate your voice for emphasis and clarity. Voice modulation involves adjusting pitch, pace, and volume to keep your audience engaged. Here's how to do it effectively. Vary your pitch, shift between high and low tones to emphasize key points. Monotony puts listeners to sleep. Adjust your pace, speak slowly when explaining complex ideas and speed up during lighter moments. Pauses are equally important, they give your audience time to absorb information. Control your volume, speak loudly enough to be heard clearly, but soften your voice for intimate or emotional moments. Think about Martin Luther King Jr.'s iconic "I have a dream" speech. His dynamic voice modulation, from passionate crescendos to reflective pauses, mesmerized millions and cemented his message in history. 3. Reading others' nonverbal cues. Effective communication isn't just about sending messages, it's also about receiving them. Understanding others' nonverbal signals allows you to adapt your approach and respond appropriately. 3.1 Interpreting body language. People reveal a lot through their body language, often without realizing it. Here are some common cues and what they might mean. Crossed arms indicates discomfort or resistance. Leaning forward shows interest or engagement. Fidgeting suggests nervousness or impatience. When you notice these signals, adjust your behavior accordingly. For example, if someone leans back with crossed arms, try softening your tone or asking open-ended questions to ease tension. 3.2 Adapting to cultural differences. Nonverbal cues vary across cultures. For instance, maintaining direct eye contact is seen as respectful in Western societies, but may be considered rude in some Asian cultures. Similarly, gestures like thumbs up or handshakes carry different meanings worldwide. To navigate cultural nuances, research the customs of the culture you're interacting with. Observe others' behavior and mirror it subtly. When in doubt, err on the side of caution and ask politely if unsure. 4. Mastering gestures for greater impact. Gestures are an extension of your words. They add emphasis, clarity, and emotion to your message. However, overusing or misusing them can detract from your communication. Let's explore how to use gestures effectively. 4.1 The power of purposeful gestures. Purposeful gestures enhance your storytelling and make your message more memorable. For example, use open palms to signal honesty and transparency. Point gently to emphasize specific ideas or directions. Employ upward hand movements to convey positivity or ambition. A famous example is Steve Jobs, whose minimalist yet impactful gestures during product launches became legendary. He often used wide arm sweeps to emphasize innovation and precision. 4.2 Avoiding distracting gestures. Some gestures can undermine your credibility if not controlled. Examples include fidgeting with objects like pens or hair, repeatedly touching your face, which may signal nervousness or dishonesty, overusing hand motions, which can overwhelm your audience. To refine your gestures, record yourself speaking and observe your hands. Are they enhancing or distracting? Practice keeping your movements intentional and aligned with your words. 5. Nonverbal communication in different contexts. Nonverbal cues must adapt to the setting and audience. Here's how to tailor your nonverbal communication for various scenarios. 5.1 Professional settings. In formal environments, such as meetings or interviews, nonverbal professionalism is key. Tips include: maintain a firm handshake, if culturally appropriate. Sit upright and lean slightly forward to show engagement. Avoid excessive gesturing. Opt for calm, measured movements instead. For example, imagine you're pitching an idea to your boss. Your confident posture, steady eye contact, and warm tone will reinforce your competence and passion. 5.2 Personal relationships. In personal interactions, nonverbal communication fosters intimacy and understanding. Strategies include mirroring the other person's body language to build rapport, using soft touches, e.g., a pat on the back, to convey support, smiling genuinely to create a welcoming atmosphere. Consider a couple discussing their day. Leaning toward each other, nodding, and smiling can transform a mundane conversation into a meaningful connection. 5.3 Public speaking. On stage, your nonverbal cues must project confidence to a larger audience. Techniques include moving purposefully across the stage to engage different sections of the crowd, using expansive gestures to fill the space and command attention, pausing strategically to let your message sink in. A powerful example comes from Oprah Winfrey, whose animated yet controlled gestures captivate audiences worldwide. She uses her hands to illustrate stories, creating vivid imagery that resonates deeply. 6. Practicing nonverbal mastery through daily habits. Like any skill, mastering nonverbal communication requires consistent practice. Here are some habits to integrate into your routine. 6.1 Observe and learn from others. Watch skilled communicators, whether leaders, actors, or friends, and note their nonverbal techniques. What do they do well? How can you incorporate similar strategies? 6.2 Record and review yourself. Use your phone or camera to record yourself during conversations or presentations. Analyze your posture, gestures, and tone. Identify areas for improvement and track your progress over time. 6.3 Seek feedback. Ask trusted colleagues, mentors, or loved ones for input on your nonverbal communication. Questions like, did my tone match my message? Or, how did my body language come across? Provide valuable insights. 7. A story of transformation, from awkward to charismatic. Let me share the story of James, a software engineer who struggled with awkwardness in social settings. Despite his technical brilliance, he found networking events daunting because he didn't know how to connect beyond small talk. Determined to improve, James began observing charismatic individuals at work gatherings. He noticed how they maintained eye contact, smiled warmly, and used open gestures. Inspired, he started practicing these techniques in low-stakes situations, like ordering coffee or chatting with neighbors. Over time, James became more comfortable using nonverbal cues to express himself. At a company mixer, he confidently approached a senior executive, made steady eye contact, and used purposeful gestures while discussing his latest project. To his delight, the executive praised his insights and offered him a mentorship opportunity. James's journey highlights the transformative power of mastering nonverbal communication. With patience and practice, anyone can go from awkward to charismatic. Conclusion of Chapter 3. Congratulations, you've unlocked the secrets of nonverbal communication. By mastering body language, tone, and gestures, you've added depth and authenticity to your interactions. Remember, nonverbal cues aren't just accessories to your words. They're integral to building trust, conveying emotion, and leaving a lasting impression. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wisely said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." Let your actions and expressions align with your intentions, and watch your communication skills reach new heights. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to adapt your communication style to different contexts, from professional environments to personal relationships. You'll discover tailored strategies to navigate diverse scenarios with ease and effectiveness. Are you ready to become a versatile communicator? Let's continue this journey together. Chapter 4: Communicating in different contexts. Every context requires a unique communication style. Whether you're writing an email, delivering a presentation, or resolving a conflict with a loved one, adapting your approach is key to success. In this chapter, we'll explore how to tailor your communication for various scenarios, professional settings, personal relationships, and high-stakes negotiations. As Zig Ziglar once said, "You don't build a business, you build people, and then people build the business." The same principle applies here. By understanding your audience and adapting your style, you can create meaningful connections that drive results. Let's dive in. 1. Professional communication. In professional environments, clear and respectful communication is essential for collaboration, productivity, and career growth. Here's how to excel in workplace communication. 1.1 Writing emails that get results. Emails are a cornerstone of modern professional communication, but poorly written ones can lead to misunderstandings or missed opportunities. Follow these guidelines. Be clear and concise. State your purpose up front. For example, instead of saying, "I wanted to discuss something," write, "I'd like to schedule a meeting to review the Q3 report." Use a professional tone, avoid slang or overly casual language. Stick to polite phrases like, "Thank you for your time," or "Please let me know if you need further clarification." Include a call to action, CTA end with a specific request, such as, "Kindly confirm your availability by Friday." A great example comes from Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo. Known for her meticulous attention to detail, she emphasized the importance of clarity in written communication. She once said, "Leadership is hard to define and good leadership even harder. But if you can get people to follow you to the ends of the earth, it's worth it." Effective emails help leaders inspire action and alignment. 1.2 Conducting meetings effectively. Meetings are opportunities to collaborate and innovate, but only if managed well. Tips include: set an agenda, share objectives beforehand so participants come prepared. Encourage participation, ask open-ended questions like, "What are your thoughts on this strategy?" Summarize key takeaways. At the end, recap decisions and assign responsibilities to ensure accountability. For instance, imagine leading a brainstorming session. By inviting input from quieter team members and summarizing ideas clearly, you foster inclusivity and creativity. 1.3 Giving feedback constructively. Feedback is a powerful tool for growth, if delivered thoughtfully. Use the SBI model, situation, behavior, impact. Situation, describe the context. During yesterday's client call. Behavior, highlight the behavior. You interrupted the client twice. Impact, explain the effect. This may have made them feel undervalued. Then, offer solutions or encouragement. For example, next time, try letting the client finish before responding. Your insights are valuable, and they'll resonate more when shared at the right moment. 2. Personal relationships. Communication in personal relationships shapes our emotional well-being and the quality of our connections. Here's how to nurture deeper bonds through effective dialogue. 2.1 Communicating with family members. Family dynamics can be complex, but thoughtful communication fosters harmony. Strategies include: active listening, give your full attention without interrupting. For example, if a sibling shares their struggles, respond with empathy. "That sounds really tough. How can I support you?" Avoiding assumptions. Instead of assuming someone knows how you feel, express yourself directly. Say, "I felt hurt when," rather than, "You always." Showing appreciation. Regularly acknowledge small acts of kindness. A simple, "Thanks for cooking dinner, it was delicious," strengthens bonds. Consider a married couple navigating household responsibilities. By discussing expectations openly and expressing gratitude, they prevent resentment and build mutual respect. 2.2 Resolving conflicts through empathetic dialogue. Conflicts are inevitable, but how you handle them determines the outcome. Steps include: stay calm, take a break if emotions run high. Return to the conversation when both parties are ready. Focus on solutions, shift from blame to problem solving. For example, "How can we divide chores fairly?" Validate feelings, acknowledge the other person's emotions. Say, "I understand why you're upset. Let's work this out together." A poignant quote from Dr. John Gottman, a renowned relationship expert, sums this up beautifully. "Happy marriages are based on a deep friendship, an abiding sense of fondness and admiration. Empathy and understanding are the foundations of lasting relationships." 3. Negotiation and persuasion. Negotiation and persuasion require finesse. They're about finding common ground while achieving your goals. Let's explore how to influence others effectively. 3.1 Strategies for influencing others without being pushy. The key to persuasion is focusing on mutual benefits. Techniques include highlighting shared goals. Emphasize what you both want. For example, we both value completing this project on time. Here's how my proposal aligns with that goal. Using data and stories, combine facts with anecdotes to make your case compelling. For instance, research shows remote work boosts productivity by 20%. Plus, Sarah from marketing shared how flexible hours improved her focus. Asking questions. Encourage buy-in by involving others in decision-making. Ask, what do you think would work best here? A classic example is Warren Buffett, whose calm demeanor and logical arguments have won countless negotiations. He advises, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. His ability to frame ideas persuasively inspires trust and agreement. 3.2 Balancing assertiveness with empathy. Being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive. It's about expressing your needs respectfully while considering others' perspectives. For example, instead of demanding, you need to approve this budget now, say, I understand timing is tight, but approving this budget will ensure we meet our targets. Can we prioritize this today? In personal contexts, balance honesty with compassion. For instance, I care about your feelings, and I also need to share mine. This situation makes me uncomfortable because. 4. Adapting to digital communication. In today's world, much of our communication happens online, through emails, video calls, or messaging apps. Mastering digital communication is essential for staying effective and professional in remote or hybrid environments. 4.1 Best practices for video calls. Video calls lack some nuances of face-to-face interactions, but you can still communicate powerfully with these tips. Dress appropriately. Even if you're working from home, dressing professionally signals seriousness and respect. Maintain eye contact. Look into the camera, not at your screen, to simulate direct eye contact. Minimize distractions. Ensure your background is tidy and free of interruptions. Use mute when not speaking to avoid background noise. For example, imagine leading a virtual team meeting. By maintaining eye contact through the camera and using visual aids effectively, you keep participants engaged despite the physical distance. 4.2 Navigating written communication online. When communicating via text, clarity and tone are critical. Tips include: avoid ambiguity. Be explicit to prevent misinterpretation. For instance, instead of saying, let's discuss this soon, specify, can we schedule a call for 3 p.m. tomorrow? Use emojis sparingly. In informal settings, emojis can add warmth, but overusing them may appear unprofessional. Proofread before sending. Typos or grammatical errors can undermine credibility. Always double-check your messages. A great example comes from Sheryl Sandberg, COO of Meta, formerly Facebook. She emphasizes the importance of concise, action-oriented communication in digital spaces. As she puts it, done is better than perfect. Clear, efficient writing ensures tasks move forward without unnecessary delays. 5. Communicating across cultures. In our interconnected world, cross-cultural communication is increasingly common. Understanding cultural differences helps you avoid misunderstandings and build stronger relationships. 5.1 Recognizing cultural nuances. Cultural norms influence everything from greetings to decision-making styles. For example, in many Asian cultures, humility and indirectness are valued, while Western cultures often prioritize directness and assertiveness. In Middle Eastern cultures, building personal rapport before discussing business is crucial. To navigate these differences, research the customs of the culture you're engaging with. Observe others' behavior and adapt accordingly. When unsure, ask politely about preferences or expectations. 5.2 Using universal principles of respect. Regardless of cultural background, certain principles resonate universally. Show genuine interest in others' perspectives. Listen actively and validate their experiences. Avoid stereotypes or assumptions based on nationality or ethnicity. For instance, imagine collaborating with an international team. By acknowledging holidays like Diwali or Lunar New Year and respecting diverse work styles, you foster inclusivity and trust. 6. A story of adaptability, from misunderstanding to mastery. Let me share the story of Maria, a marketing manager who struggled with adapting her communication style. Early in her career, she assumed everyone preferred her direct, no-nonsense approach. However, during a project with a Japanese client, her straightforwardness caused tension. The client expected more formality and patience in negotiations. Realizing her mistake, Maria took the initiative to learn about Japanese business etiquette. She began sending detailed proposals ahead of meetings, used honorifics in emails, and allowed extra time for discussions. These adjustments transformed the dynamic, earning her the client's trust and securing a long-term partnership. Maria's journey illustrates the importance of flexibility in communication. By tailoring your approach to fit the context, you can turn potential challenges into opportunities for growth. 7. Building versatility through practice. Adapting to different contexts requires practice and self-awareness. Here's how to develop versatility. 7.1 Reflect on past interactions. After each conversation, ask yourself, what went well? What could I have done differently? How did my audience respond? This reflection helps you identify patterns and areas for improvement. 7.2 Experiment with new styles. Step out of your comfort zone by trying unfamiliar approaches. For example, if you usually rely on email, experiment with video calls. If you tend to be reserved, practice speaking up in group settings. 7.3 Seek feedback regularly. Ask colleagues, friends, or mentors for input on your communication style. Questions like, how did I come across in that meeting? Or, what could I improve in my emails? Provide actionable insights. Conclusion of Chapter 4. Congratulations, you've mastered the art of adapting your communication style to different contexts. Whether navigating professional environments, nurturing personal relationships, or influencing others in negotiations, you now have the tools to connect authentically and effectively. As Maya Angelou wisely said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Let your words and actions leave a positive, lasting impact wherever you go. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to continuously improve your communication skills. You'll discover practical strategies for seeking feedback, learning from mistakes, and staying updated with evolving trends. Are you ready to commit to lifelong growth? Let's continue this journey together. Chapter 5. Continuous improvement in communication. Communication is not a destination, it's a journey. Even the most skilled communicators never stop learning, refining, and growing. In this chapter, we'll explore how to make continuous improvement a cornerstone of your communication skills. You'll learn how to seek feedback, analyze past conversations, and stay adaptable in an ever-changing world. As Tony Robbins famously said, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Let's embark on this path of lifelong growth together. 1. Seeking feedback for growth. Feedback is one of the most valuable tools for improving your communication skills. It provides an outside perspective that helps you identify blind spots and areas for improvement. 1.1 Asking for constructive criticism. Many people hesitate to ask for feedback because they fear criticism. However, constructive feedback is a gift. It accelerates your growth. Here's how to approach it. Be specific, instead of asking, how did I do? Say, what could I improve in my presentation delivery? Choose the right person. Seek feedback from someone who understands your goals and has your best interests at heart. Stay open-minded. Listen without defensiveness. Remember, the goal is to learn, not to justify your actions. For example, imagine presenting a project to your team. Afterward, ask your manager or colleagues, what aspects of my explanation were clear, and where could I have been more concise? Their insights will guide your next steps. 1.2 Creating a feedback loop. To maximize the benefits of feedback, create a system for regular evaluation. Steps include Document feedback. Keep a journal of the feedback you receive. Note recurring themes or suggestions. Set actionable goals based on the feedback. Identify specific changes you want to implement. For instance, if someone mentions your pacing is too fast, practice slowing down during future conversations. Follow up. After making adjustments, check back with the person who gave feedback to see if they notice improvement. A powerful example comes from Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, who prioritizes feedback as a leadership tool. He once said, "The learn-it-all does better than the know-it-all." By embracing humility and openness to feedback, you position yourself for continuous growth. 2. Learning from mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable, but they're also invaluable opportunities for learning. Every miscommunication or awkward moment teaches you something new about yourself and others. 2.1 Embracing failure as a stepping stone. Rather than viewing mistakes as setbacks, reframe them as stepping stones to success. Ask yourself, what went wrong? Why did it happen? How can I prevent it in the future? For instance, imagine accidentally offending a colleague with a poorly worded email. Instead of dwelling on guilt, analyze the situation. Was the tone too harsh? Did you omit important context? Use this insight to craft clearer, kinder messages moving forward. 2.2 Analyzing past conversations. Reflecting on previous interactions helps you identify patterns and refine your approach. Questions to consider include: did my message achieve its purpose? How did the other person react, verbally and nonverbally? What would I do differently next time? Consider keeping a communication journal, where you document key takeaways from significant conversations. Over time, you'll notice trends and develop strategies to address recurring challenges. 3. Staying updated and adaptable. The world of communication is constantly evolving. New technologies, cultural shifts, and workplace dynamics require us to adapt continuously. Here's how to stay ahead of the curve. 3.1 Keeping up with trends in communication. From social media platforms to virtual reality meetings, technology reshapes how we connect. To remain relevant, explore new tools, familiarize yourself with emerging communication platforms like Slack, Zoom, or collaborative apps. Follow industry leaders, subscribe to blogs, podcasts, or newsletters from experts in communication and leadership. Attend workshops or webinars. Invest in professional development opportunities to sharpen your skills. For example, as remote work becomes increasingly common, mastering digital communication tools is essential. Knowing how to host engaging webinars or facilitate productive virtual brainstorming sessions sets you apart in today's workforce. 3.2 Adapting to diverse audiences and cultures. Globalization means you'll likely interact with people from varied backgrounds. To communicate inclusively, educate yourself, learn about different cultures' communication styles, values, and taboos. Practice empathy. Put yourself in others' shoes to understand their perspectives. Stay curious. Ask questions and show genuine interest in others' experiences. For instance, imagine leading a multicultural team. By celebrating diversity and tailoring your approach to each member's preferences, you foster collaboration and mutual respect. 4. Practicing active self-reflection. Self-reflection is a powerful habit that accelerates your growth as a communicator. By regularly assessing your performance and mindset, you can identify areas for improvement and celebrate your progress. 4.1 The power of daily reflection. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on your interactions. Ask yourself, what did I communicate effectively today? Where did I struggle or feel unsure? How can I prepare for similar situations tomorrow? For example, if you had a challenging conversation with a friend, reflect on what worked and what didn't. Did your tone escalate the tension? Could active listening have diffused the situation? These insights help you refine your approach over time. 4.2 Using journaling for growth. Journaling is an excellent way to track your communication journey. Write down key moments, lessons learned, and goals for improvement. Over time, you'll see patterns emerge and gain clarity on your strengths and weaknesses. Consider this real-life example. A sales executive named Lisa kept a journal where she documented every client interaction. She noted which phrases resonated, which objections arose frequently, and how clients responded to her tone. This practice helped her double her closing rate within 6 months. 5. Building a personal development plan. To ensure continuous improvement, create a structured plan for developing your communication skills. Here's how to design one that works for you. 5.1 Setting clear goals. Start by identifying specific areas you want to improve. Examples include becoming more confident in public speaking, mastering nonverbal cues like eye contact and posture, learning to navigate difficult conversations with empathy. Once you've identified your goals, break them into smaller, actionable steps. For instance, if your goal is to become a better listener, commit to practicing active listening during one conversation per day. 5.2 Tracking progress. Measure your progress regularly to stay motivated. Ideas include recording yourself before and after implementing new techniques to compare results, asking trusted friends or colleagues for periodic updates on your improvement, celebrating milestones, no matter how small. For example, imagine setting a goal to deliver 3 successful presentations within a month. After each presentation, review feedback and adjust your strategy accordingly. By the end of the month, you'll have tangible evidence of your growth. 5.3 Staying accountable. Accountability ensures consistency. Find someone, a mentor, coach, or peer, who can hold you accountable for your goals. Share your progress with them regularly and seek guidance when needed. A great example comes from Oprah Winfrey, who credits much of her success to having a strong support system. She once said, "Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher." The right accountability partner can push you toward excellence. 6. Cultivating a growth mindset. A growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through effort, is essential for continuous improvement. Here's how to cultivate it in your communication journey. 6.1 Embracing challenges. Instead of avoiding tough conversations or daunting tasks, view them as opportunities to grow. For example, if public speaking terrifies you, volunteer to present at team meetings. Each experience builds confidence and skill. 6.2 Learning from others. Observe skilled communicators and model their behaviors. Watch TED Talks, read books on communication, or attend networking events to learn from experts. Pay attention to their tone, body language, and storytelling techniques. For instance, consider Simon Sinek, whose ability to articulate complex ideas with simplicity has inspired millions. His mantra, "Start with why," reminds us that clarity and purpose are at the heart of effective communication. 6.3 Staying patient and persistent. Growth takes time, so don't get discouraged by setbacks. Focus on incremental progress rather than overnight success. As Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, says, "Effort counts twice." Consistent effort compounds over time, leading to remarkable results. 7. A story of lifelong growth, from novice to expert. Let me share the story of David, a teacher who transformed his communication skills through dedication and perseverance. Early in his career, David struggled to engage his students. His lectures were dry, and classroom discussions often fell flat. Determined to improve, David began seeking feedback from his students. He asked questions like, "What parts of my lessons are most engaging?" and "How can I make explanations clearer?" Based on their input, he incorporated storytelling, humor, and interactive activities into his teaching. Over time, David became known as one of the most dynamic educators in his school. Students loved his classes, and colleagues sought his advice on effective teaching methods. His journey proves that with persistence and a willingness to learn, anyone can master the art of communication. Conclusion of Chapter 5. Congratulations, you've unlocked the secrets of continuous improvement in communication. By seeking feedback, learning from mistakes, and staying adaptable, you've positioned yourself for lifelong growth. Remember, mastery isn't about perfection, it's about progress. As Brian Tracy wisely said, "Continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field." Let curiosity and commitment guide you as you refine your skills and deepen your connections. Audiobook Conclusion. We've covered a lot of ground together in this audiobook. Give me few minutes, and I'll improve your communication skills. Let's recap the key lessons that will empower you to communicate with confidence, clarity, and impact. Chapter 1. We laid the foundation by exploring the basics of effective communication, including the 7 Cs: clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete, courteous, and overcoming common barriers like fear and misinterpretation. Chapter 2. We tackled the importance of building confidence, learning how to manage anxiety, adopt a positive mindset, and practice public speaking with poise. Chapter 3. We mastered nonverbal communication, discovering how body language, tone, and gestures amplify your message and deepen connections. Chapter 4. We adapted our communication style to different contexts, professional settings, personal relationships, and high-stakes negotiations, ensuring versatility and effectiveness. Chapter 5. Finally, we committed to continuous improvement, embracing feedback, learning from mistakes, and staying adaptable in an ever-changing world. These principles form the backbone of exceptional communication. By applying them consistently, you'll unlock opportunities, strengthen relationships, and achieve greater success in every area of life. Now it's your turn to take action. Remember, knowledge alone isn't enough. True growth comes from application. Start small but stay consistent. Whether it's practicing active listening in your next conversation, refining your email writing, or stepping out of your comfort zone to speak up, every effort counts. As you embark on this journey, keep these words from Mahatma Gandhi in mind. The future depends on what you do today. Every step you take toward improving your communication skills brings you closer to becoming the person you aspire to be. Don't let fear or self-doubt hold you back. You have the tools, the strategies, and the determination to succeed. Trust the process, celebrate your progress, and never stop striving for excellence. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey to enhance your communication skills. Your time and attention mean the world to us at Wisdom Audiobooks. It has been an honor to guide you through these chapters, and we hope this audiobook has provided value that resonates deeply with you. If you found this content helpful, please take a moment to support our mission. Like this video to help us reach more people who can benefit from it. Share it with friends, family, or colleagues who might need a boost in their communication skills. Subscribe to Wisdom Audiobooks for more insightful content designed to inspire and educate. Together, let's continue growing wiser every day. As Helen Keller once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." Let's build a community of empowered communicators who connect, inspire, and transform the world, one conversation at a time. Until next time, keep communicating with authenticity, empathy, and purpose. Your wisdom journey starts here, and it's just the beginning.